Yeah,
Bonds.
Whoa, easy. Slow down.
So because I could not
Whew.
Treasury receipts.
so because I could not do whiskey because of the anti-anxiety medication, I poured myself a Coke Zero and I put 3 maraschino cherries in it.
Oh,
It's
fancy.
fancy.
Does that have a
Yeah.
name? Is that the Erica?
I don't want this to be the me. That would be real sad. Let's just call it a cherry Coke. A maraschino cherry Coke.
You
There
know,
you go.
I sometimes mix equal parts cranberry juice and seltzer, and I call that a Tony, and I'm okay with that.
See, that's fine. It's just this is
Hmm.
no.
You know, that is one of the things about not being a drinker is you miss out on the. I like the idea of mixing things together, and I like the idea of giving things names. And I'm not really
You
sure
can
where to
still-
channel that energy elsewhere, other than
Please don't
you know.
get into genetic mutations.
No,
with
no,
that,
I say
sort
stick
of
with
mixing
drinks.
things together and giving them names.
I just think corn could be better, Micah, and I am gonna splice in some DNA to improve
There are
it.
plenty of non-alcoholic
Research.
drink combinations that taste
Sure.
delicious. I mean,
But
one of my
wouldn't
favorite
you-
things to put into alcoholic beverages is basil, and you could absolutely do that with like the right. I love Aline's face. The right tonic water, or a little bit of lemon juice. So
Micah,
refreshing.
I'm just thinking right now, you see some corn, you want corn, and you've got to go get that corn. What if we could make the corn come to you?
Oh
I knew
my
that. I was
God.
afraid you were going to say that.
I'm just saying we slice in a little spider DNA, and that corn scampers right over to you.
What's it called,
Trace
Tony?
amounts.
It's called spider corn.
Oh,
Trademark.
okay. Never mind.
And the podcast is over.
Sorry, Tony.
The thing
I
I,
think-
really appreciate is how Erica was like, I can turn this. I can make this. I can make this something that's like not
Mhm.
disturbing. And
Mhm.
Tony was like, no.
Let me show you my soul.
Of course, I did then say basil, which you found disturbing. I can
I
tell
don't
by
like-
the look at your
I mean,
face.
lots of people like basil. It's fine.
It's soured for you, but
They like
so
cilantro too. I can't help them.
I guess to be fair, you said you like mixing things and you like naming things. It doesn't mean that you're good at naming things. It's just that you like doing it.
I've got that energy though. So, well, yep. YouTube, I see some people. Oh, I have to put the link somewhere so that people know, right? That's how that works.
Probably.
Yeah.
that's a
I'm not
thing.
sure, honestly. I don't know anything anymore.
Sometimes things kick off automatically. Sometimes they don't. The system works. Some people are subscribed and get an alert on YouTube. Those are the super
If you do a
fans.
tweet, I will retweet it. Or if you give me a link, I can tweet it. But I don't know what the link would be.
I have tweeted the thing.
Okay, good.
Here is in Zoom chat a tweet link if you want to
There
tag
you
it with
go.
yourself. in
Tweet link,
some-
tweet link.
Tweet link. Look, I'm not a seasoned technology professional like you, Brian Hamilton. I'm just doing the best I can.
I just thought it sounded like a Pokemon. Tweet link, tweet link.
I don't know what those are. I'm old.
Oh, come on.
You know what Pokemon are.
I'm so old. Is that like a
Yeah, you
like
know
a-
the Pokemon Spider Corn.
Yeah, is that like a rap song? I don't know how you people work.
Spider.
Spider cord.
There you go.
Can someone on YouTube?
I got out of bed for this.
Oh well, I was Mateo. I'm sorry, Aline. Mateo Lamp confirms that we have sound and video,
Thank you.
which are the most important parts of the podcast. Everything else is really pretty optional. Yeah. Anything we need to cover before we dive into things?
I have dice.
Good.
I have my character sheet.
Yes.
I'm recording.
Aline, most importantly, you have us. It
The
takes
gamma
a
Thank
bullets
village.
you.
of friends you made along the way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, also, I mean, well, you have our collective knowledge. Yeah, but also you should record. Everyone is recording, I hope.
Recording.
on the right
recording.
microphone, if possible, that would be.
Jeez,
I'll think about it.
Erica, don't be such a
Very
stickler.
demanding.
Lot.
US 4x4. That's
Yeah.
correct. That's the right mic.
Erica, am I supposed to be writing this
That's
down?
That's good.
I say it so you don't have to write it down.
So, all right. Anything we need to cover before we dive into the episode and do this wacky mutated thing?
My mom is watching, so I think we are probably
All right.
ready to go.
Hello, Renee.
Hello,
Hi, Renee.
Also,
If
shout
anybody
out
else's mom is watching and they need us to say hi, let us know.
That's a membership perk. $30 a month.
Offer only valid for the first 30 bombs.
Actually, I have
Whoa.
I have a thing to show you guys. I was gonna wait until Jane was here, but I'll just show her again. Shout out to listener Kit who gave me the coolest thing.
Listener
Okay,
Kit.
yes, this is related to the Dog and Pony show, so that's why I wanted to show it specifically to you guys. So I was telling her about Pony Cinderlard and how originally,
As you do.
as you do, you forget. Tony and I forgot that when you summon something into Barovia, it's supposed to be skeletal. But you know that didn't happen. So retconned that didn't happen. So my thought is that Pony, and Tony can obviously nix this, but when we save Barovia and the veil is drawn away, then Pony will have like a nice little, not an actual aura, but he'll like almost sparkle, like he'll seem like he's celestial in nature, but he's not actually skeletal. But she was so tickled by the idea of a skeletal pony that she painted me this.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
Oh my
this
gosh.
is she actually looked up like anatomy for ponies.
Wow.
This is pony anatomy. This is not horse anatomy. This
not
is
horse
pony
anatomy.
Yeah.
Erica, how much overlap is there between horse and pony anatomy?
Shush. And
All right, thanks. I'm just asking questions, people.
and unfortunately, I can't show you, but maybe I can take a picture at some point. This paint glows in the dark.
No way! That's
Whoa.
amazing.
She was honestly hoping that you wouldn't be able to see it, that it would be invisible, so that like it would just look like a brown pony, and then you turn off the light and it'd be like skeleton. But it's amazing. So I will
Listener
take a picture
Kit,
and
that's
share it.
so cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
Amazing.
She even
Oh my God.
she even made like little like horseshoes and stuff. Although technically, I don't think Pony wears horseshoes. But you know what? We are now saying that Pony wears horseshoes because they're bling,
Canon.
Nice.
silver bling.
Yep.
All right. Anyway, so that's my thing to show off.
Important horse business.
Yep.
I'm
Pony
sorry.
business.
Sorry. Oh no. Oh no. This bodes
No, I'm not going to do
poorly
it.
for tonight.
Never mind. Stop.
Should we play some Total Party Kill? Is that what we should do? All right.
I'd like that.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, he, him, a dungeon master, or I guess a game master, a gamma master. There are words in the rule book about what I'm called in the world of Gamma World, which is the game we're playing. And that's right, we are continuing our non-Dungeons & Dragons adventure. Unclear if this is legal or authorized by Jason Snell. He can't stop me. All he can do is control whether these files get released on the internet or not. I record them and send them to him. This is episode 2. Oh,
I also have control.
Erica also has control. Allow me to introduce our first player. It's Erica Ensign.
Who has
Erica,
control.
I hear you have control.
I do, yes. Erica Ensign, she, her, and I do have control over what gets dropped on the TPK feed. So somebody will be hearing this someday. Today, I am playing Chase Tarrant, a telekinetic fungoid, a giant mushroom, basically. Chase's pronouns are it or they.
Also joining us, you heard his laughter before. Now, meet the man. It's Micah Sargent.
Wahaha! That's my actual laugh. I just do a fake one for the show. Anyway, I'm Micah Sargent. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Clement Ashfire, the mythic mind breaker. Clement uses both he, him, and they, them pronouns.
Also joining us, it's Aline Sims. Welcome back, Aline.
You know, the thing I love about Total Party Kill is that despite the fact that I sleep 3 to 5 hours a night, can't sleep more than that. And I think, oh, I'm going to be the loopy weird one on the episode. I never, ever, ever am. I never am. And it's just fascinating. I play Charlotte Varsk, the cryokinetic reanimated, and we both use she, her pronouns.
All right. And joining us very soon, people on the video stream know who this person is, but they'll appear soon. I guess this is a spoiler. Maybe this will get edited out. You know what? It feels weird not to say hi to you, so we're going to say hi to you, but we'll learn about your character very soon. Please welcome back to Total Party Kill and back to the world of Gamma World, the one, the only, the Brian Hamilton. Hi, Brian.
Teehee, you don't know I'm here yet until I've spoken, but hi everyone, Brian Hamilton, they, them if you please, and you'll meet who I am later.
Indeed, we will.
Hashtag teaser.
Let's jump back into things. So previously on Gamma World, our adventurers met up on the road on the way to Fargo, one of the major settlements in the lands of East Dakota, a place usually of kind of quiet refuge and where you can get supplies and converse with other people who are just, making their way in the harsh, irradiated wastelands that are Gamma World. But when you arrived on the outskirts of the settlement, the streets were empty. All the kind of shops and stores were kind of boarded up. And you kind of travel a couple blocks in search of where are the people of Fargo before coming basically face to face with a herd of, zombies. Zombies is a word to describe them. Strange roving corpses with mold growing out of their eyes that seem intent on damaging people around them. Also, the zombies are joined by a trio of these strange bat-like fungoid things we call obscouts floating around above them, and you did battle with them. In that battle, 3 Mile, your friendly neighborhood irradiated Bigfoot / time traveler, attempted to time travel just like a second into the future to gain the advantage in battle, and has stepped sideways into the time stream. Unclear when we will see 3 Mile again. Extremely dramatic exit. And so we join our adventures in the middle of the fight. Many zombies have gone down, but there are still these obscouts floating around, raining down kind of radioactive beams upon you, and a couple zombies. And with 3 Mile having stepped sideways in time, this fight could go a lot of different ways, and like 8 out of 10 of them are bad for you. So I believe in the initiative order, Chase Tarrant, you are next.
Yep. That's what it says. Why did I not leave a note for myself what to do next time? Probably because I had no idea, just like I do now. All right. So again, I am a giant mushroom on a horse with giant clown feet at the moment, which is super not helpful. I am going to, let's see, shift, because that's a thing that happens in this 4th edition style game. I'm going to shift to the north 1, and I am going to, let's see.
So your Chase Tarrant is currently kind of, I was going to say face to face. I don't think that quite works, but at least in proximity with the faces of several of the zombies that were clustered around 3 Mile. So you're kind of maneuvering to find a place where you want to be next to this cluster of hungry looking zombies.
Okay, so there's 3 zombies and 1 obscout. Is that what
I believe
I'm seeing?
there are 2 obscouts there.
Okay.
One of them is bloodied.
Oh, right. Okay, it's reddish, but it doesn't have an X on it.
It
Okay,
looks different.
that's all right. But there are none of my friends in that area, so
No.
I am going to use my telekinetic wave, which is a psi standard action. It's a close blast 5, and it gets every creature in the blast. So that's all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do I roll separately for each one, or do I?
You would usually roll separately for each one, and tell me which defense this is targeting, because in Gamma World you have different kinds of defenses. You have armor class, fortitude, reflex, and will.
All right, this is targeting fortitude.
All right, I will tell you the fortitude is literally the strength of the zombies, but roll away. So they give me 3 quick fortitude attacks, and then we'll do the 2 obscouts.
Fortitude attacks.
No, Micah.
James Thompson has entered the chat.
The first one's a 20.
That'll hit.
The second one's a 7.
That will not hit.
The third one is a 15.
That will not hit. So 1 zombie is hit by your psychic attack.
Okay.
How about these obscouts who look significantly less fortitudinous in their kind of flappy, one-eyed fungal bat-like ways of being?
All right, that one's a 21.
That definitely hits an obscout.
And that one's a 14.
A 14 will hit an obscout. So tell me about damage to these poor unfortunate fungoid creatures who are just trying to, cut a path of destruction across town, just like any of us would.
So basically, I am. You can sort of see the frills around my mushroom cap just vibrating, and then suddenly I just sort of lean forward a little bit, and this whoosh comes straight out at them. They each take 7 points of force damage, and they are pushed 3 squares.
All right.
And that's if it hits. If the fortitude, if it didn't hit, they don't get pushed, obviously.
Got it. One of the zombies is just kind of pushed into oblivion, and the 2 orc scouts are knocked back. One orc scout was already bloodied. The other orc scout is also bloodied. So you've also created a decent amount of breathing room here at the intersection of these 2 streets in Fargo. There's a little more room to move. They're not all clustered around a giant radioactive, in part because they're not clustered, and in part because the giant radioactive Bigfoot is no longer present. So
It was a giant, not a
Gamma World
Bigfoot.
people. You're right. Sorry. I think I attached a lot of Bigfoot qualities to him. He was mysterious. He was unknown to us. He's misunderstood. All right. Next up, you see kind of across the street from you, kind of a strange sight, like a door that was perhaps like barricaded closed, maybe opens just like a couple of inches, and it looks like a bright neon yellow like plastic bag or something is like squeezing out through that crack. But then it seems to kind of take a more humanoid form standing on the street next to the shop here in Fargo. Please welcome to the podcast to play that humanoid form, Brian Hamilton.
You meet Winslow. They kind of lurch out of this door looking like one of those wacky inflatable used car salespeople outside of the lots, kind of locomoting towards over where y'all are. Winslow is a rat swarm. This swarm of rats has animated inside of a hazmat suit. And so each one of these rats is controlling different parts of them. Their limbs are going around and, slowly kind of hobbling over. It's a little unsettling to watch, very like Soul Calibur 2 in that way, but also able to actually move surprisingly well contained in this big hazmat suit. The random character generator gave me a plastic water bottle, and so at their hip is the plastic water bottle turned upside down, aimed into the pocket of the hazmat suit. And every 10 seconds or so, you see a rat pop out of the pocket and eat a little bit of food out from inside of the water bottle, like inside of a little hamster cage. That is how they stay alive. And they hobble on over toward the fray, hearing that these zombies start to attack everybody. Like, oh, you all again. They talk like Dorman in Shadow of the Colossus. Each rat is responsible for a different phoneme and different syllable and different sound that comes out of not the mouth, but this whole human being of rats. It's very unsettling.
A chorus of mouths. Now, Winslow, you, I think, were probably barricaded up in kind of just a general store there. There may have been some other residents and visitors to Fargo in there with you. It seems like I don't know if you've been in Fargo for a while or just passing through, but it seems like they are somewhat prepared for when there's trouble. They retreat, clear the streets, kind of batten down the hatches and wait for things to pass. And perhaps you were doing that for a while, but then the sounds and perhaps even you were able to peek out, and the sight of battle has drawn you from the safety of your hiding place here to fight some herd zombies and ob scouts. So I would say you probably have used your move, kind of getting out of there and lurching into the street. But would you like to do some kind of attack here on your first turn in Gamma World?
You know what? First move is going to be my encounter, which is a ranged melee. This is quick attack. Ranged melee or ranged.
Okay, I was gonna say usually it's one or the other. So
No, it says melee or ranged on my character sheet. I think I sent you a screenshot.
Okay. Yep. Hold on. I will just check. Probably it's fine.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Sure
I mean, if it's a weapon, usually it means you can either throw it or just
Yeah,
but if you
I've
throw
also
it, then
got
you
a
don't have
melee
it for your...
slash ranged.
Yeah, but if you throw it, then you don't have it for your next attack.
This is quick attack. It's melee or ranged. So
Awesome. I don't know.
Basically, and I think probably your quick attack is basically you're using some kind of basic weapon of your choice that you're either throwing or attacking with somebody. Now, Brian, I know this is the place where camera rolls is a little crunchy in terms of you're going to roll a d20 and then add your level and your dex modifier.
Yeah.
And I believe your quick attack also lets you shift before you make that attack. So you could close some distance with a far away foe if you wanted. But the key thing is roll d20 and roll high. And hey, if you roll high enough, the math is not really important.
Amazing. That is a 12 plus 5 plus 1. So that is an 18 versus AC for the
So you had your choice. There's some zombies milling around the street, and then there's these weird fungal bats flapping over the zombies.
Let's do the Ob Scout. That's 2 to the left of me.
All right. So
their
you
AC.
fling some kind of, I imagine, improvised kind of weapon at it, and it is totally unprepared for this to happen, and so you hit it. Now you need to roll some more dice to tell us how much damage you did.
I have 1 W on my character sheet. What does that mean, Tony?
That is 1 weapon damage, and that is where we want to know what kind of weapon you have, which we may or may not have figured out on your character sheet. Let's say for an improvised weapon, it's going to be like a D4.
Fantastic. D4 improvised weapon, like a brick or something.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that is a 4.
Is that
Thank you guys.
is that
It's
Nice.
weapon
that-
accuracy, the W stands for, and I'm pretty sure for that it's a +3, but
okay?
it's only because I was just reading about this today.
Gotcha. I apologize. I was kind of making rules up, but yeah, it sounds
That's
like
the DM's
Mike
job.
knows more. So instead of rolling hey, what is the average on a D6 though, Micah?
It's a 3.
Hey.
So, roughly.
Fantastic. 3 plus dex modifier is 8 plus level is 1. So that is 9 damage to
All right, you
Ob
just
Scouts.
you nailed that Ob Scout who had no idea that a swarm of rats in a hazmat suit was about to join the fray in this kind of the side of its strange bat-like torso with a brick, and it looks like it is regretting a lot of decisions vis-a-vis hanging out over the swarm of zombies and fighting all of you. That Ob Scout is in bad shape. All set, Winslow?
all set. Thank you.
All right, Clement Ashfire, you are next. You are hanging out near the intersection. You've got a little bit of cover from the ruins of a car. Most of the zombies that were immediately near you have been taken out, but there are still some zombies, I don't know, 15, 20 feet ahead of you in the middle of the intersection. Ob Scouts flapping around further down the streets.
Clement is going to move forward and then to here, and then is going to strike out Ob Scout at the Ob Scout that's in front of them with another psychic assault. 17 versus AC, I think. Let me double check. No,
Isn't it
versus Will.
Isn't it great having multiple defenses that you attack instead of the simplicity of just armor class?
Mm-hmm.
It's really satisfying.
Yeah, so it's 17 versus Will.
17 will hit the will of an Ob Scout. Micah, are you attacking the Ob Scout to the north of you or to the west?
To
of
the
you?
north of me.
Got it. All right, and some damage.
11 damage.
That Ob Scout kind of like twitches to the side and just kind of like spins upside down and crashes into the pavement of the street of Fargo,
Yay!
looking not so happy. So, all right, all set, Clement.
Yeah, and I want to rewind it. If you are using in this case, a brick would be a light melee weapon that you're using one-handed, so the damage is 1d8. I just discovered that. So
Cool.
For future reference, 1d8 for a one-handed light melee weapon.
Yeah. All right, then
Although he threw it, so that's not melee.
Oh, you threw it, so then it's a
Yeah.
light ranged weapon. Oh, also 1d8. Yay!
There you go.
Hey.
The zombies are next. Now, Clement, you have kind of put yourself in the area of zombie
have.
attention. You have drawn them. They no longer have a radioactive giant to tussle with. So they are going to attack you. They lunge out at you with horrible kind of mutated claws. Let's see here. I have rolled a 21 and a 10. I feel pretty good about that 21.
Versus AC.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it might do
Uh,
something.
A zombie places its claws just kind of like across your upper arm and just kind of scratches at you, Clement. You take 5 physical damage from that.
All right.
The Ob Scouts are next. They are flapping around overhead. Now, one of them is badly hurt. One of them, Chase Tarrant, I think, did you do something horrible and psychic to this one over to the east? Has it had a chance to recover from that, perhaps?
To the east? Oh, that was from.
I think it was like confused or somehow
was-
psychically tormented.
I believe it got a chance to save at the end of every turn, and I don't know if it had tried to save or
It has
not.
saved.
Okay.
I just rolled a 20, so it is saved. So it has no further lingering effects.
Yeah, I'm trying to. That was my. I think that was whatever my alpha mutation
Your
was.
mutation
and I
was.
have forgotten what it was. Oh, I think it was devolution.
That sounds correct.
Mhm, it was dazed.
So it
it's no longer
seems
dazed.
to have taken. I think people also hit it with some other attacks. It is badly hurt, but it is going to attempt to deal with this situation. You know what? I think it's going to flap over in the direction of the new entrant to the party, Winslow. You are wearing a hazmat suit, so the question is, how does that hold up against radiated blast from a flying fungal bat? Let's find out.
Mhm.
I will say that on my character sheet, I have, my brand new M1 MacBook Air made the screen very small suddenly. What is my feature? I'm vulnerable 5 to damage from area and close attacks. So
That is not
that's an
this.
area attack. Oh,
It is not an area attack. It is just a ranged attack. Because you're a swarm. I get it now.
Mm.
So a burst of radiation in kind of a pulse zaps out of the Obscat's eye in your direction. I have rolled a 15 versus Fortitude, Winslow.
Fortitude on my character sheet is
On there.
it's 11. There we go.
All right.
That
You
hits.
get you get hit with a beam of radiation right in the chest of your hazmat suit. You're going to take some damage. This is the Obscout's powerful attack. You are going to take 8 plus 5 is 13 radiation damage from the Obscout.
All right. That's not good, but I'll
no.
live with it.
The Obscout on the other side of the intersection is going to attempt to do something similar to Clement Ashfire. Clement Ashfire, I have rolled a.
I don't think I want you
You
to
don't
do that though. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's not technically a negotiation. But I've also rolled a 15 to attack you. So depending on your fortitude, maybe this won't happen to you.
Oh, this is versus 40. Okay. No, that'll hit.
All right. I have the bad news that you are going to take 10 radiation damage from the
Woofy
Obscout.
doofy. Okay.
How are you doing, Clement Ashfire?
I'm doing 5 points of health left.
Okay. Out of
Out
Many.
of the 25.
okay. Winslow, how bad are you?
I am on. If I had to give it like an abstract way of looking at it, I'd say I'm about 13 out of 22.
Okay, 13 out of 22. Yep. Almost you would say bloodied. Just checking in, Chase Tarrant. How are things over in Mushroom Town?
Well, I had taken some damage previously, so on my last turn,
Mhm.
I second winded and got myself back up to full, which is 28. So
All right.
I'm tanking,
Right.
I guess.
And Charlotte, have you taken any damage?
I don't think I have.
Okay, you've been hanging back. Also, I was gonna say hanging back.
Not
Except for
necessarily
those
hanging
two
back.
zombies that
Yeah.
you bit.
Lots of chomping going on.
Yeah, somehow I blocked that out. But it's
we all did.
but it's
as we
back.
did.
It's all in there. And
Came rushing
speaking
back
of
in.
Charlotte Varsk, I believe it's your turn. The zombies in your immediate proximity have been vanquished, but there are 2 more menacing your friend Clement and some Obscouts flapping overhead. Only 4 adversaries remain.
I don't know that we're friends yet.
Acquaintances,
Um,
road buddies.
well, Clement, you are in my way, dude. So I guess what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna make it so I can move and roll 20, and then I'm
Mhm.
gonna come over here to this Obscout. I am going to roll a d20. This is an attack. Let's see. All right. This is so gross.
I'm so
you-
excited now.
Are you gonna eat my Ob Scout?
Yeah.
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 You know, like you do.
Okay. So this is versus AC. Oh man. All right. So
You
I'm
got chocolate in
thinking-
my Ob Scout.
I'm scouting my chocolate.
I'm thinking 5, 6, 7, 8 versus AC is not gonna make
So you swipe at the Ob Scout with your kind of undead claws with a hungry look on your face, and the Ob Scout like nervously like just tries to like flaps up just straight
yeah.
up.
It's
you
it's
know?
it's you
like,
know
"Ah,
it's
ah."
I was gonna do like an ice attack, and then the zombie side took over, and it got very confusing. So I'm gonna save that description for another time.
All right. Back around to Chase Tarrant.
All right. I mean, it worked okay last time, so I'm going to just shift one to the north and basically do the same thing. I'm going to do my telekinetic wave directly to the west, so it does not hit Clement Ashfire, but it will hit the 2 herd zombies. So
Got it.
that is my plan. And once again, this targets fortitude.
Okay, give me 2 quick rolls.
12 for the first one, and 13 for the second one. I'm guessing neither of those hits.
The herd zombies kind of stare you down with their, again, they don't have eyes, but the sockets that they used to keep their eyes in that are now dripping with kind of a brown mold.
All right, well, that is my turn.
All right.
My horse and I will just brace for impact, I guess.
Impact, yeah. Winslow, the rat swarm, you are in the middle of an intersection in Fargo. A strange fungal bat has targeted you with radioactive blasts. There are also some zombies nearby.
Winslow has also just seen a mushroom on a horse, which was a very exciting experience, and then relayed that information to all the rest of the rats in their entire body.
I had to like take turns. Like, you got to get up here and see this.
It's a constant circulation of rats through the eye holes, over down to the arms, to throw the bricks and stuff like that. They've been practicing for like 2 years because they've been locked away, isolating in this one building for no real reason. Winslow is going to move over to the zombie that their new mushroom friend has just tried to swipe at, and is going to do their move Swarm, an at-will standard action. I'm going to roll my dexterity modifier to give you 13 plus 5 plus 1 equals 19 versus reflex. For
the zombie never sees it coming. Just suddenly there are, I imagine, rats everywhere. Is that what it looks like when you use your swarm attack? Like the rats leave the sleeves of the hazmat suit, and you know,
it's really cool. The what's it called? The gloves on the hazmat suit kind of open up, and rats kind of shoot out. It's extremely cool and
it's
disturbing.
Like Spider-Man, but rats.
Spider-Man, but rats. Coming soon to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 5 plus 5 plus twice my level is 2. That is a 12 damage.
All right, the rats eviscerate the zombie. It just kind of collapses into a hump, a kind of a pile of stuff. And Winslow, I think this is something that you will experience. Probably, Charlotte, this would have happened to you a little bit. The zombie is a kind of strange collection of both. There's clearly the kind of human/humanoid matter of the host, but there is a lot of plant matter, kind of, or should I say, I should be really careful with my labels here. Fungal matter throughout the system that once was the host. So I'm just saying that, you know, depending on where the rats are nibbling, they're getting different experiences.
You hear a rat out of the back of your ear. They're completely different phylums, Tony.
Thank you, Science Rat.
Science rat.
Glasses and a clipboard.
Science
Yeah.
rat
Yep.
does whatever
Legally
a science
distinct
rat.
from Professor Rat.
Professor Rat, yeah, but they may have. Maybe this is Professor Rat's origin
Oh
story.
my
We
god,
don't
Professor
know.
Rat was my intro
Whoa.
to D&D. I love Professor Rat.
I love Professor Rat.
All set, Winslow.
I'm all set. Thank you.
All right, Clement Ashfire. There's still one zombie menacing you. There's still two ob scouts circling overhead.
And that's why Clement's going to say
Run
it
away.
with me. Second wind.
Now, remind us, in Gamma World, I think you can second wind as a minor action. Is that correct?
It is.
I have no idea, but
It's true.
Erica does, and I trust Erica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get back hit points equal to your bloodied value, and you get a plus
Half-
2 bonus
half
to
your hit
all your
points.
defenses until the start of your next turn.
Oh, wow.
And it requires a minor action, not usually in other parts of D&D. Second wind is usually, not always, easy dwarves, a standard action. So you still have your move and your attack if you want, like a
Excellent.
yeah.
Clement's going to go ahead and... Ooh. Yeah, he knows the Ob Scouts are still pretty dangerous in comparison. If I move from here, that is opportunity attack a thing in this version of D&D?
It is indeed. So the only thing you can do that would not provoke an opportunity attack from a zombie is shift. You can shift one square, unless you have other movement-based abilities.
Okay, so
but yeah,
shifting,
so
does
move
that
in
count as
general.
my action?
That counts as your
Move.
move.
Okay, so I can shift. It's just one square that I move.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically instead of
Um,
moving a bunch, you move very carefully one square.
Okay.
That's right. Imagine role-playing game systems where you get to count lots of squares, people. This is all we had for a long time, and we liked it, sort of.
We did.
Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something kind of... Well, hold on. Because I don't think that needs to happen. Chase, have you... No, because you just second-winded, and Charlotte doesn't have damage. Wait, is it Winslow?
Yes.
What's Brian's character's name? Winslow?
Winslow, yes.
Yeah. Has Winslow taken damage?
Winslow has.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, you don't have a name on the board. I will...
Oh, I don't.
Ooh. I gotta fix that. That's me. That's on me.
I will shift, and then I will Mythic Strike.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
That's 21 versus AC of the herd zombie to the left of me.
Yeah.
All right, so I hit that. Oh, by the way, the way that Mythic Strike works, it's with a weapon. So Clement pulls out a little baton. It's a purple, sort of metallic baton, and they kind of flick it out, and then they bop the zombie in the face with the baton.
Scooping up the
And at
zombies, popping them on the-
at the same time that connect happens and does 9 damage, there's this wave, this sort of shock wave that kind of comes out, and suddenly Winslow feels temporarily boosted as they gain 5 temporary hit points.
Wow.
Thank you, new friend, Clement Ashfire. You see a bunch of rats like popping out little rips in the hazmat. So like, what? I feel amazing. And popping back and getting back to work.
It's
Little-
odd because Clement mostly only speaks telepathically, so he would have trouble kind of communicating with Winslow. So he hasn't done that yet. But perhaps Clement looks at you and they just nod their head.
You hear like Wembley Stadium's worth of rats going, thank you. Very, very loudly.
And Clement, you have slain the last of the zombies milling around here in this particular intersection of Fargo, thus meaning the zombies do not go next, but I believe the Ob Scouts do. The Ob Scouts are remaining. They are a threat to you until you vanquish them. Let me just check here. Different things Ob Scouts can do. You're Charlotte, you're right up close to this Ob Scout. So I think this Ob Scout is going to try and claw at you with its horrible little bat wings.
And your little dog, too.
I have rolled a 23 versus armor class.
Yeah, that'll do it.
the strange fungal bat scratches you for 8 physical damage. This other Ob Scout is thinking about like it doesn't like how things are going. It's going to kind of start flapping down the street, but it turns and fires an Obblast at we'll say Chase Tarrant. I think it just remembered that you were the one that caused it all the trouble.
Oh yeah.
So I have rolled. I'm on a good streak today. That is a 24 to hit your fortitude.
It doesn't
Just gonna
matter
go
what
ahead and roll some damage.
That is gonna
Yeah.
hit for sure.
Just gonna roll some damage. That'll be 16 radiation damage to Chase Tarrant.
Ouch. All right, I took it. Didn't like it. Bloodied.
All right.
Ow.
Charlotte, is your turn. There is a very badly injured Ob Scout trying to claw you before you eat it.
Yeah, I could definitely use a 20 on this. Let's crit. It's so close. 17 is practically critting.
Like legally, you think in some
Right.
places. I bet in Canada that's a crit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Erica, did that come
Maybe
up on the
crit.
test? Yeah. Did that...
I'm not allowed to tell you what was on my test.
Oh, there's secrets.
Oh.
So
Do you have
it's
special Canadian secrets now?
21 versus fortitude.
Yeah, you just snatched that Ob Scout out of the air from where it was, menacing you. And you tell me what happens next, because I don't think it's going to be good for the Ob Scout.
This is my patented nasty bite. So
Mhm.
this is a 5 plus 5, so 10 physical damage to them. And if I had critted, I would also have been able to gain some of those hit points back. But
So you
Only
just
in Canada.
tear, you bite one of the wings off of the Ob Scout, and it gives up.
it made me mad.
It doesn't want to be an Ob Scout anymore.
I don't
What a
want to be
jerk.
an Ob Scout anymore.
It's going to a better place inside Charlotte. So yeah. Anything else, Charlotte?
Who else do we have on the board? There's an Ob Scout way over there.
There's single
Yeah, just the one Ob Scout
flapping
Okay.
away Ob Scout.
So I think I'm gonna
that's
use
trying
some
to
of.
run.
I think I'm gonna use some of my move to move eastward. Just gonna go back toward the group a little bit and closer to the Ob Scout in case I need to be closer to get in a melee range.
Okay. Chase Tarrant, it looks like the only adversary you have left is an Ob Scout. An Ob Scout you have already done some harm to.
Mhm. Not
It
enough.
looks like it's trying to scoot away to the east. Didn't do a full on. I mean, a tactical withdrawal, but it
Mhm.
fired some shots at you as it left. I don't know if you want to just let it go about its
No!
business and just part
Are you
here as
kidding?
friends, and
It could-
just maybe this was all a misunderstanding, and this
Mm.
is our chance to patch things up.
It could be going off to tell somebody about us. It could be going off to hide somewhere to leap out and nibble on us or something. I don't know, or irradiate us, whatever. So I am annoyed, and I don't like this thing. And the last time I tried my telekinetic wave, I mean, it worked on some things. It didn't work on other things. So instead, what you see. So painting this picture again, you have a 6-foot tall mushroom,
Mhm.
and it's sort of like in a like a little basket that's over one side of the horse, and the
Mhm.
other side of the horse, as I mentioned, is full of it's a basket that's full of other kind of random things to sort of keep the weight
counterbalance.
even.
A one mushroom's weight worth of collected
Yes.
wasteland
Yep.
garbage.
Yeah, roughly. A little bit more, because one of the things, as anybody that might be looking at it notices, suddenly something from that other basket floats out into the air, and you might notice it's a machete, and it flies straight at the Ob Scout and does a weapon attack. Because I am telekinetic, I can use objects up to 5 squares away,
That's
as if I
right.
were just I'm not really good at it, though, unfortunately. So that is a mere, let's see, what is this? An 11? And I assume weapon attacks are against AC?
Uh,
So-
probably. Probably.
Let me scroll back to page 75, which is where all of the weapon attacky stuff is.
People love when we scroll to page 75.
They
We get
do.
a lot of mail about that.
Hmm Yeah, totally.
Page
Uh,
75 fan art's been off the charts lately.
Yep.
It totally has. Why does it not actually say?
What
Weapons
was the number
table.
that you got?
It was only an 11, so probably
I will tell
doesn't
you,
do
it's-
anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Okay.
So the machete goes sailing through the air. The Ob Scout
hmm
very kind of like awkwardly like kind of dodges it and looks as terrified as a one-eyed fungal bat can look.
All right. So like basically the machete then is sort of all right. So it behind
Yes.
it menacingly.
All set, Chase?
I would just like to maybe you need to make a ruling on this. I don't know if it's in the rules or not, but because I wield weapons as if I were holding them in my hand, even though I'm 5 squares away, I think I technically would get an attack of opportunity, an opportunity attack
'cause
on this
you-
thing if it tried to
You're
move
still
away.
threatening it?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
because so
a
you
melee
can wield
attack.
weapons within 5 or within 25 feet, and the Ob Scouts within 25 feet. So
Mhm.
okay,
Yep.
sounds good to
Yeah,
me.
so that was technically a melee attack. That was not a ranged attack.
Okay, it was just a ways away from you. Got it.
Yep. I have no appendages. This is the only way I can manipulate anything.
But you can manipulate things further away than people with traditional
Yep,
advantages.
it's pretty great.
So weren't that we all psychic mushrooms? Winslow, there is one menacing creature left. I believe this is the Ob Scout that blasted you with radiation. I don't know if you want to do anything about it before it attempts to flee.
Winslow looks upon Chase and the Ob Scout and their relationship and their bonding over the machete and the psychic manipulation and thinks, this is not our fight. This is their fight.
Okay. Is that a way of saying you don't have very many range attacks?
I have no more ranged attacks. No, I'm
Got
not
it.
running all the way over there.
Okay. Clement asks fire.
Clement rushes forward because this is definitely their fight, and is going to psychic assault. 13 versus, I forgot what it is. I need to add it to the sheet. It's 13 versus will.
That will not hit the will of an Ob Scout.
Well, phooey.
All right. The Ob Scout is next. It wants to get away. It knows that it is alone here. It has visions in its little fungal head of just flying away over the rooftops of Fargo, never to be seen again. And so it takes off, provoking a opportunity attack from
Yep.
a psychic mushroom wielding a psychically controlled machine.
Yeah. So for the machete attack, I'm going to use my like radioactive-y looking bright orange razzmatazz. Oh god, that's even worse than before. It swipes, and that's what happens.
All right. So the Ob Scout is going to do 2 moves,
Arr.
and it's gone. It has disappeared quite a ways away across the rooftops. It would be impossible to track it here on the ground at this point. But the good news is you have defeated the herd of zombies and 2 Ob Scouts. Clearly a major threat to the people and town of Fargo, and you survived. And when you survive in Gamma World, you get some experience points. You also you regain all your hit points, and you'll set aside your alpha mutation because you're going to get another alpha mutation very soon. If it matters, which it kind of does, it matters. It matters to me. Let's see. You are each going to get 140 experience points. I
Okay.
will note that for you
Thank you.
in a place and eventually in a spreadsheet. So you are standing in a literal crossroads here in Fargo. It seems like most of the people in Fargo are still boarded up. There may be other strange fungal zombie threats in Fargo, but you have at least made a new acquaintance. Really a perfect one-for-one swap, as your radioactive giant has stepped forward several hours in time, and when a radioactive giant closes the door, they open a window, and that through that window comes a swarm of rats in a hazmat suit. People, close your windows. This message is brought to you by the Fargo Department of Health and Sanitation. But perhaps you'd like to converse to the extent that your various characters are capable of communication with Winslow.
I feel like Chase Tarrant is in a great position to communicate because I have no ears, so like everything is just like the sound waves are hitting the frills of the mushroom, so I probably don't even notice that there are different voices coming from, so I don't find this unsettling in any way, shape, or form, and I have no trouble talking because I just vibrate the membranes in the air, so I just say, well met, stranger.
Yeah, you are definitely the least freaked out of anyone here, I imagine, because everything is just one flat note.
When you're a mushroom, everything else is very strange.
And
including your horse.
And it's important to remember, in the world of Camel World, there are all manner of strange creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, people, though they may have, limited ability to communicate even on the same levels of audio that people can register, you're united by a common cause of survival. And, I think there's kind of in-groups and out-groups in terms of those who commit violence against the innocent versus those who save violence for self-defense and preservation of life and dignity. So I'm just saying there are things that bring you together, things that bring a psychic mushroom and a bag full of rats, a hazmat suit full of rats together. Aren't we all just one people? That's what I'm trying to say. No,
you were going
he's
down
literally a bag full of many rats.
Yes. I mean,
and they're one mushroom. So.
A lot of days I feel like a bag of rats. I'm looking forward to a day where I feel like one mushroom. I'm just saying. Anyway, so well met, stranger. How long have you been in town?
I've been in that building for a little over 2 years at this point, just isolating from everything else around me for no real reason other than to just prepare myself for when things really start to go down. Now, you are the latest in a whole band of adventurers that come through these crossroads, maybe the fifth in the last 5 fortnights, which is the time period that we go by here in Fargo. And sometimes I come out and help out, get rid of some of the obscats. That one really doesn't like me. I ripped off one of his other wings a few weeks ago. But it seems like you actually might have what it takes to survive all the way out here, because everyone else that I know, all the other rat hazmat suits, they all just hide and they don't go outside of their place. One of them is actually in a trash bag. One of them is in a grocery bag. It is a ton of fun.
And to be clear, though Winslow mainly associates with other rat swarms, there are almost 1,000 people who live in the town of Fargo, many of whom are not rat swarms. Really, it's it's a teaming metropolis of swarms and non-swarms.
I'm not convinced that it still is at this point.
Yeah, I think
Fargo. If you lived here, you're a swarm now. So
or a zombie.
Tries to communicate with Winslow, which again, trying to send out that psychic signal is difficult because there are so many different rats, and so instead, very rare for Clement, uses his voice and says, "Where have all of the people gone?"
If you look around, you'll find them in the corners of all of these different buildings. Some of them are hidden in those like steel horses over there, which is what Winslow calls cars for some reason. And you'll be able to figure out a little bit more about the town, hopefully by A, fighting the monsters here, but B, talking to some of the other people that you might find. I don't talk to any of them. I only associate with the rat storms, and we get really chummy over the last few years. And then as all this is going down, one rat is running up inside of the hazmat suit to the head. It says, "Oh, so Clement just said, where are all the people?" "Oh, you're already having this conversation. Sorry, it was just the one rat at the foot that you argued with your mag beam." "Sorry, missed the conversation." Runs back down to the foot.
Where and when did the monsters come from?
Winslow, you have seen a couple attacks from these strange monsters in the last few weeks, but this particular attack happened just, basically has been going on for, I don't know, maybe about 2 hours. So yeah.
Convey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll stick. I mean, it seems like you lost your giant or something. I'll stick with you if you want, because it seems like you could really use someone that knows the way in and out of a hazmat suit. I mean, Fargo, like I do.
Yes,
Mhm.
indeed. How long have these attacks been happening? It's really hard to control the vibrations of a mushroom, so the voice just goes all over the place.
Over the last few weeks, this last one, was a little bit of a doozy, but I think you have what it takes to survive.
As you are exchanging information about your survival, you take the necessary 5-minute break to get your various health back. But you see, kind of creeping down the street in your direction, a new type of fungal looking menace. This one looks much more plant-based, and it is still kind of gathered itself into kind of a humanoid persona, but this one does not seem to be it seems more plant than person. Again, no offense, plants. Also, still fungal. I keep saying plants. You know what? The Gamma World book uses those terms interchangeably, and that's on them. And these two fungal creatures, they're a good 50 or 60 feet down the street from you, so perhaps you're not worried about them too much yet, but they have started at the wreckage of one of these steel horses. Some people call them Kaars, here on the streets of Fargo, and this one seems to have attracted their attention, and they are prying open the doors and seem to be pulling a person out of the car, an old man in strange flowing purple robes who is extremely distressed about this situation. I don't want to go with you. No, this is not what I want.
We have to help.
Yeah, should we roll initiative? Because I will be rushing over there on my
You are
horse.
free to roll initiative.
Okay. Yeah,
How
FYI,
about,
my
am I
cart
free
is
to
still
move first, then roll initiative?
No, that's not how it works.
my cart is still back where I left it. I have not hooked the horse back up to the cart yet.
Okay, you've not put the horse in front of the cart.
No, I haven't. The cart is firmly behind the horse.
All right. I encourage you all to roll initiatives and either plug in your initiatives or tell me your initiatives, and I will plug them in.
I just heard Dan's very creepy critical fail voice from inside Dice by Peacock, so I got 1, which is great.
Well, I rolled a 20, so I evened you out.
Do you have any kind of modifier, Brian?
Yeah, but it's a 1. It's
okay. All right. I see Chase Tarrant at a 22, Winslow at a 1. Clement, is 6 your new initiative or your old initiative?
That is new. 6 is new.
And Charlotte, 20. Let's see here. I just need a token for this poor old man being pulled out of a minivan.
Tony, could I perhaps roll insight or conspiracy or something to see if I know this old man?
Yeah, roll conspiracy. In fact, I would say even though you're a weird shut-in, roll with advantage because you've been in Fargo for 2 years.
Amazing. That is a 10.
Is advantage a thing in Gamma World? It is now, people. Boom.
It's in Dice by Peacock, so I consider it.
Yeah. Yep. This is how Tony rolls. What'd you get?
I got a 10 with advantage.
At 10. You recognize that person. I don't know if you know a lot of non-swarms in Fargo, Winslow, but this would probably be at the top of your list of notable non-swarms. Why is that so hard to say? You know that old man who was hiding in that steel stallion is known as Arx Skystone, ARX Skystone, and he's the deputy mayor of Fargo. He's also an important religious leader in the Children of the Atom, is the the religious order that he is an authority figure in. So he is both religious and elected democratic authority within Fargo. He's deputy mayor, not mayor. deputy
ATOM
mayor.
or ADAM?
ATOM, atom,
Okay.
as in the
Atomic.
atomic. Yes, as in what is another word for atom? There isn't one. Damn it. So-
Sociology rat peeks out of the
Mm.
hazmat suit and says, "That's a disturbing lack of separation between church and state."
yeah. I like sociology rat almost as much as science rat. So
It's like an
Let's-
encyclopedia of rats.
oh man, someday we're gonna meet it's a Wikipedia of rats and title.
Wikipedia rat hole.
So yep. Let me just get this initiative set up. I'm still thinking about funny rats. And we'll do a round or so of this before we call it a night.
I want to meet the one that knows everything there is to know about corn dogs.
Because you
All
know
right,
corn
Quincy.
dogs have survived to the post-apocalyptic
absolutely.
wasteland.
So these strange vegetable creatures, the adventure calls them veg pygmies, are kind of very top-heavy looking creatures. They're short, but they have big, broad shoulders, and their arms are just like these muscly looking vines, and they're armed with kind of spears. They look like they've got a lot of kind of brown mold woven into their kind of being, suggesting connections to the zombies you just fought. Though again, these seems like plants that have organized themselves in humanoid form versus, say, humanoids infest the zombies were. They're going to start off, and they use their turn to wrench Ark Skystone out of the minivan and start kind of dragging him down the street away from you to the west. And one of them does kind of a strange, it puts its hand to its mouth, and there's like a strange sound that I'm guessing probably only Chase Tarrant can hear, and several more plant creatures kind of appear coming around the corners as if to join them and escort them out of town with their captive.
Oh boy,
So-
that's a lot of them. Jeepers.
Yeah,
criminy.
yeah. I would say 3 come from each direction for 6 total. These ones look significantly less intimidating than the hunters that are escorting Ark's Skystone. So yeah. That's their turn. Chase Tarrant, you are next. You have a horse.
All right, I do. And I just looked up the horse information. And yes, so my riding horse actually has a speed of 10. So I can get all the way over there, and I plan to. I would like to also point out, just for the sake of fairness, that I grant combat advantage while I'm on the horse. So keep that in mind during this fight. I'm sorry I did not know that for the last one. But this looks like a pretty rough situation. So I'm going to ride my full 10 all the way over to here. And I am going to use my... Yeah. Wait, how fragile does this old guy... You know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Okay.
I am just going to use my... how fragile does he look?
Well, he looks, for all intents and purposes, like a human man, elderly human man. He actually looks surprisingly human. There are some people in the world of Gamma World that claim to be like true humans or real humans or pure humans. And just when you're starting to get like kind of a weird icky vibe from him, like the liver spots on the side of his head kind of start to swirl. And you're like, oh, okay, he's a mute too. But he's he for all intents and purposes appears to be an elderly human man, a little bit on the frail side. So I don't know, not at the top of your list of people who would survive being kidnapped by plant monsters.
All right, is he...
It's a
wait,
judgment call.
okay, so the one that the hunter to the north there is the one that's closest to the vehicle. Is that the one that has him? Or...
I imagine that they both kind of have, like, each of them is holding one of his arms as they're dragging him.
Okay. Well, I am thinking then, if I do my telekinetic wave, that is a close blast 5, so maybe he wouldn't be entirely in it if I miss the guy to the north and just do the one to the south and then the 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would get the 3 weaker ones,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the one that's directly in front of me. And I don't know how much it skims him, like if it hits his arm or what happens, but that's my plan.
All right.
So yeah, telekinetic wave.
Did we get
Coming at ya.
new alpha mutations?
You should all roll on the alpha mutation spreadsheet that I have. We have a spreadsheet. Instead of if we were playing this in person, I'd have a deck of cards. But please, I believe I have you roll 8d40 or 2d20 and grab a number off of your off the spreadsheet.
Exciting.
The
It would
same thing. No,
Me
never mind. It's not.
too.
Oh.
I literally got the same thing. Guess what? I have clown feet again. But they just stick out of the bottom of my weird saddle and they're not hindering me in any way. They just look silly anyway. So, yeah. Does anybody else have anything that changes that needs to be announced immediately? Like, oh, by the way, my character now has clown feet.
No clown feet for me,
Mm-hmm.
sadly.
Winslow's consulting with their physics rat inside of their body somewhere to figure out how to deal with this new mutation. None of you
All
see
right.
anything yet.
All right, I wasn't sure if you were consulting the Excel rat first. Chase, I'm sorry. I think you may have said numbers. Did we resolve your psychic attack?
No, I didn't do it yet because I wanted to see if I might have a helpful mutation.
Oh,
I
helpful.
don't.
You still have clown feet. Yep.
Yep.
Just a giant mushroom with clown feet going through the world, but at least you got a horse. It's practically a country song, people.
It's a Gamma World country song.
Mhm.
All right, so first one is going at the thing right in front of me,
Yep,
and that is a 23.
that'll
and again,
hit.
fortitude. This is versus fortitude.
All right,
all right.
that hits this plant-based monster.
All right, so then the other three southern ones starting at the top.
Yep.
We have a 19
Mm-hmm.
versus fortitude, a 15 versus fortitude, and a 22 versus fortitude.
Two of them slump to the ground from your psychic wave attack. Hey, people, do you remember from Gamma World and from D&D
Minions!
4th attack? Yeah. So, tell me about damage to the hunter that was dragging Arc Skystone away, though.
Yes. It's force damage, and that is 9 force damage.
All right.
Use the force.
The
Skystone.
you have gained the attention of this plant monster,
Yep.
but it looks like 9 did not really phase it, is what I'm
Oh,
trying to
no.
tell to you. Like, it turns to look at you as if you are an inconvenience. Hold on for a second. Let me just I think I should have prepped.
I'm probably gonna die, but that's all right. I'm excited about my next character.
That's the spirit. Let me just find you some art really quickly of what these plant monsters look like. I should have prepped this. I just feel like it's important to give you a sense of what's going to kill you.
I just don't like these other creatures giving, plants and fungoids a bad name.
Yeah, I mean,
At least out,
you know,
in front of people. You do that sort of stuff in the forest where nobody can see. Come on.
yeah. Doing stuff to put an image in front of players. Waiting while an image uploads.
You give fungus a bad name.
There you go. That's what you're
Oh,
yeah.
It's kind of tiny.
Well, it is a veg pygmy. But it's tough. It's tough. All right. So Chase Tarrant, that was you. Charlotte Varsk, you are next. You are ways away from this situation unfolding down the street from you. If I had to measure it in Roll20, I would say that you are 60 feet away from the situation. And I notice you don't have a horse.
I don't have a horse. Yeah, that's far for me. Well, I guess I'm gonna dash and try to get over there, but
You don't have any ranged attacks?
Well, I guess I do.
I mean, you're still far, so you might still not even be able to get in range.
Yeah,
depending on how
what
long your
is the
attack
range of a ranged attack?
I think it depends on the attack.
I think it depends on the attack, but I will say I bet it's 30 feet. Probably depends on what it is, but
It'd be like an
a
improvised-
light ranged weapon with one
Yeah.
hand is 5 squares. A
25 feet.
gun has 10 squares. A two-handed weapon that's still light is 10 squares. And a two-handed gun is 20 squares. If you have heavy, I can tell
double
you
gun.
those two.
yeah. Do you know what kind of weapon? I don't know what you all outfitted yourselves with.
I do not
terms
have
of-
a gun.
I know that people really loaded up on horses and keelboats.
This
and
was random. This
trash.
was not me. You gave
I'm-
this to me, Tony. This is your fault.
Blame it on me. Wait,
Nope.
did I do that like 7 years ago?
Yes, you did.
Oh, well, that Tony didn't know what he was doing.
It's true. It's clear. That's clear.
Erica, do I bring you the mistakes that you have made 7 years ago and demand an explanation?
Tony,
not
you
kind.
would if I had made any mistakes 7 years ago.
Accurate.
Ooh, nice. I
Um,
love the confidence.
Oh, snap!
Love it. Love it.
So that brings us back to you, Aline. Does
yeah.
Charlotte have any types of weapons or objects that can be used as ranged weapons?
How lenient are you willing to be? Because
Pretty lenient. I think if you
okay.
run forward and you can throw something as an improvised ranged weapon, if that's what you're thinking.
So here's the thing about Charlotte.
Mm.
Charlotte, cryokinetic.
Oh.
Freezy.
Yeah, huh?
We haven't seen that part of her yet.
No,
We've
no.
just seen the thing that
The-
eats people.
the zombie side has been well, she was surrounded by zombies. I was
Yeah.
surrounded by zombies.
Yeah, it's like when you hang out
It's-
with your college friends and you kind of, you
Regress
revert.
to
you
the age
regress.
of
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, basically.
or yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Zombies are just like that.
Like attracts like.
Yep.
It's basic laws of attraction. I don't buy into that. Anyway, but primary origin is cryokinetic. So I figure as I was creating Charlotte, because I actually did this, I didn't do a random generator for Charlotte. So I was envisioning that she could actually make ice daggers that she could throw as a ranged weapon.
Sounds totally cryokinetic. I feel like it's why are you cryokinetic if you aren't making ice daggers? So,
But I'm thinking if she can make ice daggers, which she would throw with one hand, she could probably also do spears that she could do two-handed.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
What is an ice spear but a series of ice daggers forged together by ice?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm gonna do?
There's probably
is-
a limit on how many ice spears you can kind of carry around before they.
I
turn
figure
into
she
water,
just does it on the
but-
fly.
Okay, got it.
So she's
Maybe she has to
like,
sleep after a while.
Yeah,
she's striding forward because it's not really her primary thing, right? Mostly she
No.
likes to bite things, at least as far as we know.
Yeah,
Mostly a
Yep.
biter, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm striding forward, and as I do, just kind of rubbing my palms together,
cool.
and the spear forms as I'm walking, and I just hurl it as I come, as far as I can in 6 seconds. 5 squares.
Okay.
Gamma world. So Micah, do you still have that page up? What
Yeah.
would my damage be for a two-handed weapon?
So a two-handed light ranged weapon would be a D20 or wait, to hit or your damage? Because your damage is 1D12 for that.
Wow.
Okay.
If you hit,
And then to hit is
It's D20 plus your main modifier.
Okay.
I don't know which
Dex
one
or
that one
int.
is. Yeah, exactly. Dex or int. So whichever one it is for you as a cryo person. Plus your total level, so 1. And then where is
Plus
this
3.
two-handed? Yes, plus 3 for weapon accuracy.
people love math.
Mhm.
yeah, I'm completely lost. Okay, so my primary is charisma, but
Oh, sorry. It's either. So I don't know what this one. Maybe you know more, Erica. Because yeah, it's either dexterity or it's
Or
intelligence.
I assume you
But
just
it's
take the
based on
highest.
something.
I think you
Whichever's
take the
higher.
highest.
Okay,
I
that's
think
probably what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So I rolled an 11. My dex is plus 2.
Okay.
You're 13.
Plus your level.
So
So
that
that's
takes us to
13,
14.
Mhm.
plus 3.
So we're at 17.
17.
17.
And that's
The-
versus AC.
17 versus AC. The diminutive but kind of stocky looking plant monster sees the ice spear coming and just parries it, swats it out of the air with its own spear.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow.
It looks at you with several kind of, are they eyes? Glowing yellow bits on the front of its face.
Face.
Face?
Face.
Okay.
How intimidating are these horrible plant monsters going to be? Will you be able to save Ark's Skystone before he is murdered by them? Who is next in line to become deputy mayor if Ark Skystone is murdered? Let's really explore how a town government works after the apocalypse. For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill, Gamma World, this adventure that we're playing, the end.
All right. Writing myself a
Woo!
note for next time that I am granting combat advantage while on a horse.
Next time we will start with Clement Ashfire. I realize I did that kind of in the middle of the
That's okay.
round, but it seemed like that was the dramatic moment, and also it's late. So also next time I had plant monsters attack a minivan before you had fully time to say check the zombies for stuff. So I'm gonna let you pick up some stuff next time. And there is, I don't know if you all remember from years back, one of the fun parts of Gamma World is the random junk table.
I love it.
I
You
love
get
it.
to-
Yeah.
That's
let
how
me
Baba
tell
Bob
you,
Joe
you
got
know-
his dump truck or his little.
Let me tell you,
Truck.
when they publish a Gamma World expansion, which is what we're playing, you know what they do? They give you another junk table with new junk.
Heck yeah.
So you have your choice next time. You get to choose. It's really up to you. Classic junk or new junk, and it's
I
No,
have a
I mean-
question that might be
Yeah.
relevant. So I know a gun and ammunition are two separate things
They
in
are.
this game.
Yep.
So I'm just wondering if any of my companions had ammunition on their randomly rolled tables that they might have shared with Chase during the course of our travels up until now, because that could
Let me check if
potentially
I
mean the
have
difference between
ammunition.
living and dying.
I don't have any ammo.
Okay.
I just have matches.
So that's the thing I will just be keeping an eye out for. And I also learned technically a riding horse is not the kind of horse that you want to pull a cart. So
I think the message of Gamma World is that
Mhm.
we make do.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
So I'm
you
just
know.
figuring it's even slower than it's supposed to be.
Well,
Until you unhitch it.
Everything can pull a cart if it tries hard enough.
Ding ding. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, live stream / bootleg. Thank you for listening. It looks like we had a bunch of people watching on YouTube, so we appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
We will be
Hi,
back
Mom.
with this
See you
configuration
next time,
and
Renee.
possibly an additional player next week, as I keep trying to add people to the adventure to make scheduling more complicated. So we look forward to seeing you then.
See you next Tuesday.